कैसे हैं आप सभी? आई होप आप सभी बहुत अच्छे से होंगे और खूब अच्छे से पढ़ाई कर रहे होंगे। बच्चों, क्लास की शुरुआत करते हैं। चैप्टर है हमारा कॉलोनियल एजुकेशन एंड इट्स इम्पैक्ट। सेल्फ सर्वे। लुक एट द फॉलोइंग पिक्चर्स, आइडेंटिफाई द पर्सन्स इन द पिक्चर्स गिवन हेयर। What contribution did they make in the field of education? बच्चों, यहाँ पर पिक्चर दिया गया है, आप उन्हें देख सकते हैं, उन्हें पहचानिए, आइडेंटिफाई कीजिए और बताइए कि एजुकेशन सेक्टर में इनका क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन रहा है। Let's begin. Education is of great importance. It forms the basic of our civic life. Different British officials and different views about the Indian culture and education system. A majority of the British believed that Indians were an inferior civilization and it was the duty of the British to inculcate modern culture among native Indians. They imparted Western education through the medium of English to the Indian people only to serve their own imperial ends. बच्चों, एजुकेशन का क्या इंपॉर्टेंस रहा है आज के टाइम पर हम सभी जानते हैं कि एजुकेशन हमें कहाँ से कहाँ लेकर जाता है। इसीलिए जो ब्रिटिश ऑफिशियल्स थे वो चाहते थे कि इंडिया में एजुकेशन आए, मॉडर्न कल्चर आए, जिन्हें उन्होंने इंग्लिश के थ्रू रिप्रेजेंट किया था। एजुकेशन इन प्री British India. The reports of William Adam on the native schools of Bengal and Bihar and that of William Arnott on schools of Punjab gives us valuable information about the education system of pre-British India. Educational institutions in India prior to the arrival of British included pathshalas manned by pandits to impart elementary education to the Hindus and maktabs and madrasas to the Muslims. Both Hindu and Islamic education was traditional and aimed at conserving existing customs. Many schools were run on donations made by the rich. However, girls mostly did not have access to education. The system of education was not good. The children had to memorize the texts whether or not they understood the meaning. बच्चों, आप देख सकते हैं कि विलियम एडम के रिपोर्ट्स में जो नेटिव स्कूल्स हैं बंगाल और बिहार के, जो कि विलियम आर्नट स्कूल हैं पंजाब में, जिन्हें वैल्यूएबल इंफॉर्मेशन दिया गया है एजुकेशन सिस्टम का प्री ब्रिटिश इंडिया में। एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस जो है वो इंडिया के प्रायर में ब्रिटिश द्वारा लाया गया था। हालांकि जो गर्ल्स हैं उन्हें पढ़ने का कोई राइट नहीं था। चेंजिंग इन द एग्जिस्टिंग सिस्टम, the East India Company allowed pathshalas to impact primary education while it focused on the higher education of the students without much interference. However, in the mid-19th century, around 1854, the company decided to focus on the improvement of primary education system by establishing rules and routines to be followed by all the students and inspections to keep the functioning of the system in check. बच्चों, ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी द्वारा पाठशालाओं को अलाउंस दी गई ताकि जो एजुकेशन सभी को मिल सके, हर एक स्टूडेंट्स को मिल सके। They appointed official known as government pandits with each government pandit responsible for looking after 4 to 5 schools. The job of the government pandits was to visit each pathshala and determine what would be required to improve its condition and accordingly try and to do so. बच्चों, जो ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी थी उसके द्वारा स्कूल्स बनाए गए और उसमें गवर्नमेंट पंडित्स को रखा गया, जिसमें उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थी कि एक पंडित 4 से 5 स्कूल को संभालेगा और सारे पाठशालाओं में अच्छी कंडीशन में इम्प्रूव की जाएगी सभी बच्चों की इंग्लिश और एजुकेशन सिस्टम को। द टीचर्स टीचिंग इन द पाठशालास नाउ टू क्लासेस अकॉर्डिंग टू एवरी डे set timetable. They were asked to submit regular reports to the implication and response of the new rules. Textbooks were made available for the purpose of teaching and what was being learned by the student was tested through regular examinations. A fixed fee structure was introduced in which the students had to pay their fees regularly on a fixed rate. Discipline was maintained as now student had to attend school regularly and sit on the fixed seats. बच्चों, टीचर्स को पाठशालाएं दी गई और एक सेट टाइम टेबल के हिसाब से ही उन्हें पढ़ाना था और टाइम टू टाइम बच्चे किस तरीके से पढ़ रहे हैं उनके एग्जामिनेशंस भी कंडक्ट कराया जाता था, डिसिप्लिन को मेंटेन कराया जाता था ताकि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बच्चे स्कूल में आए और एक फीस देने के लिए एक टाइम भी फिक्स किया गया था कि इसी डेट पर जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो पे करेंगे फीस को। Government grants were provided to the Pathshalas that accepted the new rules and regulations, while the Pathshalas that didn't accept the new rules were not given support in any form. In the time, Pathshalas without government support found it difficult to compete with those that had government support. The new system affected the education of poor students unfavorably as according to the new rules. All students were required to attend school regularly, even during the time of harvest, when some children were needed by their families to work in the fields. These students were unable to attend school during the harvesting time. सभी बच्चों को नेसेसिटी बना दी गई थी कि सभी को स्कूल में जाना है और क्लासेस को अटेंड करना है। इन केस जब हार्वेस्टिंग होती थी यानी खेती बाड़ी का टाइम होता था और फैमिलीज़ को अपने बच्चों की ज़रूरत होती थी, तब भी ये बच्चे खेती बाड़ी ना करके बल्कि स्कूल में इन्हें पढ़ाने के लिए लगाया जाता था। और गवर्नमेंट द्वारा ये भी फिक्स किया गया था कि जितने भी रूल्स और रेगुलेशंस हैं जो गवर्नमेंट ने फिक्स किया है, उसी रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस के थ्रू ही पाठशाला चलेगी, और जो पाठशाला इन रूल्स को फॉलो नहीं करेगी उन्हें गवर्नमेंट का सपोर्ट नहीं मिलेगा। ट्राई दिस एक्सपेरिमेंशियल लर्निंग। लॉर्ड मिंटो, a visionary and Governor General of India, was of the opinion that educating Indians would help in maintaining law and order in the country, thereby reducing crime. Why did the British show interest in introducing English education among Indians? There are various assumed reasons as to why British wanted Indians to be familiar with English education. According to one thought, the sole purpose of English education was to educate Indians to use them to at lower cadre jobs to assist government. The British felt that English education was a must for the upliftment of Indian societies. The Christian missionaries tried to take advantage of English education to spread Christianity and convert Indians to Christianity. The spread of English education opened the gates of learning of English, and over a period of time, a regular school and college curriculum was drafted and introduced. The Orientalists. Orientalism was a Western ideology which argued that Indians should be educated and governed as per their own customs and laws. Sir William Jones, a British linguist, came to Calcutta in 1783. He was proficient in several languages like English, French, Greek, Latin, and Arabic. He showed a keen interest in the Indian culture. He studied ancient Indian literature and Indian texts on other subjects like politics, philosophy, medicine, morality, religion, law, etc., and even got them translated into English. He believed that the study of Indian culture would help the British understand and administer the people of India. He came across the Britishers who showed interest in the Indian culture, such as Henry Thomas, Colebrooke, and Nathaniel Hald. He set up the Asiatic Society of Bengal in 1784 with them and also started a journal called Asiatic Researches. Jones wanted institutions to gain knowledge of Indian texts with Sanskrit and Persian as a medium of instruction. They wanted to emphasize on promoting Indian learning over Western learning and wanted institutions to be established for this purpose. At this juncture, Jones got support from Warren Hastings, who was the Governor General of India. A madrasa was set up in Calcutta in 1781 to promote study in Arabic, Persian, and Islamic law. The Hindu College was also set up in 1791 to encourage the study of ancient Sanskrit texts. बच्चों आगे बढ़ने से पहले आ जाते हैं. Do you know Henry Thomas Colebrooke was an English Orientalist and mathematician. He has been described as the first great scholar of Sanskrit in Europe. इन्हें पहला यानी first great scholar of Sanskrit in Europe में describe किया गया है. The Anglicists. There were many British officials who didn't agree with the ideas of the Orientalists. They felt that Indians should be introduced to Western learning. According to them, Eastern learning was unscientific, non-serious, and full of superstitions. Those officials were called the Anglicists. James Mill, a British official, opposed the idea of the Orientalists by saying that Indian learning was being promoted to try and please the Indians, while education should be given on the basis of usefulness. Hence, the Western education of scientific and technical development would be much more essential than the study of ancient Indian literary texts. The attack on Orientalists became stronger by the 1830s. Lord Thomas Babington Macaulay, one of the prominent Anglicists, wanted the Western learning to prevail. He felt what the English had achieved in the field of education was far superior to Indian learning, and hence money and effort were being wasted by the British on Oriental learning. He gave importance to Indian learning English and argued that it would enable them to read the finest literatures in the world and would also help them to get familiar with scientific and philosophical developments that the West had made. He wanted to create a class of Indians who could serve the English and have the English tastes, opinions, and intellect. Change in approach. The idea of education was now promoted and given a practical shape to begin with. With the Charter Act of 1813, a beginning was made. The Charter promised an annual budget of 1 lakh rupees for spreading education. But there was still confusion regarding the nature of education and the medium of instruction. English Education Act of 1835 was passed following Thomas Macaulay's idea of education for Indians, and it was decided that the money would be spent on promoting Western education and Oriental learning will not be promoted. After this, Oriental education did not get the government support in any way. English textbooks begins to be published for schools. Practical and moral education. The proposed benefits of English education were brought out more clearly and better elucidated in 1854 in the Wood's Dispatch. This was a long note on education in India prepared by Sir Charles Wood, who was the president of the Board of Control of the East India Company. As the president, Wood in 1854 sent a dispatch to Lord Dalhousie, the then Governor General of India, as dispatch number 49 of 19th July 1854 for creating a properly articulated system of education from the primary school to the university. The renewal of the company's charter in 1853 provided the occasion for the dispatch. The Wood's dispatch highlighted two practical benefits of promoting education in India. Number one is education was expected to promote an economic understanding whereby Indians would understand the benefits of British rule and therefore adopt a Western lifestyle and clothes, providing a market for English goods in, and B, through the moral qualities promoted by the education so imparted, Indians would attain higher levels of morality and become more honest and trustworthy. To achieve these aims, the Wood's dispatch made the following recommendations. उन्होंने कुछ रिकमेंडेशंस दिए जो है, सबसे पहला है द डिस्पैच ड्यू special attention of the government to the importance of placing the means of acquiring useful and practical knowledge within reach of the great mass of the people. It declared that the aim of education in India was to impart Western education and the medium of instruction for higher education would be English. However, it also emphasized the importance of vernacular languages. It proposed to set up vernacular schools in villages at the lowest stage, followed by Anglo vernacular high schools and affiliated colleges at the district level. It proposed to set up vernacular schools in villages at the lowest stage, followed by Anglo vernacular high schools and affiliated colleges at the district level. It proposed the formation of a Department of Public Instruction under the charge of a director in each province. Universities in the model of London University were proposed to be set up in Calcutta, Bombay and Madras. It mentioned the need for vocational training and setting up technical training institutes, including teachers training institutes. Wood's Education Dispatch formed the basis of the education policy of the British government in India since 1854. It came to be called the Magna Carta of modern education in India. It was indeed a landmark in the history of education and presented a comprehensive plan for the later development of the educational system in the subcontinent. Do you know, in accordance with the Wood's Dispatch, education departments were established in every province and universities were opened in Calcutta, Bombay and Madras in 1857, Punjab in 1822 and Allahabad, now Prayagraj in 1887. बच्चों, वुड्स डिस्पैच का जो एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट था उसके थ्रू जितने भी प्रोविनेंस यूनिवर्सिटीज़ थे वो खोले गए। कोलकाता में, बॉम्बे में, मद्रास में 1857 में, पंजाब में 1882 में और इलाहाबाद, जिसे अब प्रयागराज कहा जाता था, है उसे 1887 में। ट्रेडिशनल वर्सेस मॉडर्न एजुकेशन सिस्टम, ट्रेडिशनल और मॉडर्न एजुकेशन सिस्टम, चलिए जानते हैं इसके बारे में। लेट अस नाउ कंपेयर द ट्रेडिशनल एंड मॉडर्न system of education. The traditional system of education had the following characteristics. A traditional school did not have any of the features that you see in schools nowadays. There were no classrooms, no textbooks, no roll call, not even school buildings. Schools were very often organized around one teacher. बच्चों, एक ट्रेडिशनल स्कूल जो होता है उसका जो फीचर अगर आप दिमाग में लाएं तो वो आजकल की तरह बिल्कुल नहीं होता, क्योंकि ना तो कोई क्लासरूम होता था, ना रोल कॉल होता था, ना बिल्डिंग्स होती थी, ना टेक्स्ट बुक्स होता था और बहुत सारी क्लासेस के लिए केवल एक टीचर होता था। द ट्रेडिशनल स्कूल्स वर बेस्ड ऑन द रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ द लोकल पीपल एंड रन बाय देम। इन अ सेंस दे ओनली taught you as much as you need to learn. They were very affordable and it was not always necessary to pay fee in cash. They were based in the local life cycles, thus the school would not be held during harvest. This suited the rural children. Learning was in local languages and traditional knowledge was imparted. Till the middle of the 19th century, the colonial rulers were mostly concerned with higher education, but after the Woods Dispatch, they began to concentrate on vernacular education as well. Let us have a look at some of the changes they were able to bring about in the realm of education in India. Government appointed pandits in charge 4 to 5 schools. It was their job to go around the schools and make sure that the teaching was of a certain standard and the classes were taken as per a timetable. They submitted periodic reports to the government. There was thus the beginning of the state supervision of education. Education no longer remained a local or regional affair. The format of teaching changed completely. Teaching was done through textbooks. Students were expected to attend schools regularly, pay fixed fee monthly and appear for exams to test their ability. School buildings came up and a new type of discipline was imposed. The schools that followed these rules were supported and funded by the government. State funding of education started. Independent pathshalas lost favor. Because of the year-round teaching cycle, many rural families found it difficult to send their children to school. On the positive side, girls were encouraged to attend schools. बच्चों, स्कूल्स जो पाठशालाज होते थे वो 4-5 स्कूल में एक ही टीचर्स को रखा जाता था ताकि वो 4-5 स्कूल की निगरानी कर सके और उनके रिपोर्ट्स को डेली बेसिस पर गवर्नमेंट तक पहुंचा सके। हालांकि जब खेती बाड़ी का टाइम होता था तब स्कूलों को बंद रखा जाता था। लेट अस नाउ कंसीडर द ओवरऑल इम्पैक्ट ऑफ कॉलोनियल एजुकेशन पॉलिसीज ऑन education in India. The growth of education was not uniform at all levels. More attention was paid to the expansion of high schools and colleges. Pathshalas that accepted the new rules were supported by government grants. Those who were unwilling to work within the new system received no government grants. The new educational system neglected education of the masses because education was more expensive. Only the rich and urban people could afford it. The new system demanded regular attendance in the school even during the harvest season. Otherwise, students were not allowed to continue in school. English medium education neglected the study of Indian literature, history, law and philosophy. Scientific and technical education for Indians was also neglected. Education institutions came to be set up mainly in urban areas and there was little effort made to educate girls. English education brought the Indians into contact with rational and scientific ideas and with the developments in science and technology. Indians became familiar with the writings of great thinkers which inspired the Indian national movement. English that emerged as a common language among educated Indians helped to spread new ideas among common people living in different parts of India and created bonds of unity among them. Education and Indian reformers. Several Indian reformers worked hard to bring about a change in society at large and in the lives of the common people. They wanted to make the people aware about the importance of being educated. Some of them propagated that even Western education should be welcomed. They felt that it gave us a scientific bent of mind to understand facts and disregard superstitions, thereby helping us to lead a quality life. Thus, they supported the British in opening of institutions that imparted Western education. On the other hand, there were also those who were opposed to the ideas of Western education and believed it was harmful for India culture and learning. बच्चों कुछ जो इंडियन रिफॉर्मर्स थे वो इंडियन सोसाइटी में चेंजेस लाना चाहते थे, लोगों की लाइफ्स में चेंजेस लाना चाहते थे. वे चाहते थे कि एजुकेशन चाहे किसी भी फॉर्म में आए, चाहे वो किसी भी लैंग्वेज में आए, वो इंडियंस तक पहुँचे, वो लोगों तक पहुँचे ताकि लोग एजुकेट हों और लोग आगे बढ़ सकें. Mahatma Gandhi found the Western education extremely harmful. He claimed the Western education instilled the feeling of inferiority in the minds of Indians by portraying Western civilization as being superior. He wanted Indian languages to be the medium of learning and urged students to leave institutions imparting Western learning. He argued that learning to just read and write did not make a person educated. The mind and soul of a person should also develop through oral knowledge, live experience and practical knowledge rather than valuing the knowledge of English textbooks. He believed that the medium of education should be through Indian languages. बच्चों, महात्मा गांधी जो थे वो इंग्लिश एजुकेशन यानी वेस्टर्न एजुकेशन के बिल्कुल खिलाफ थे. वो चाहते थे कि जो इंडियन सोसाइटी है, जो इंडियन एजुकेशन है, वो जन जन तक पहुँचे, ना कि वेस्टर्न जो सिविलाइजेशन है वो लोगों तक पहुँचे. गांधी जी हैड हिज ओन ideas about education. His idea was spiritual as it led to the development of body, mind and spirit. He prepared a scheme for education called the Wardha Scheme of Basic Education, 1937. It is also called Nai Talim or Basic Education. According to the Wardha Scheme, mother tongue should be the medium of instruction. Free and compulsory education should be given from 6 to 14 years. English textbooks should not be allowed. Equal importance should be given to games, recreation and good health. Education should equip people in constructive fields like pottery, weaving, spinning, etc. However, this scheme did not gain popularity among people. Rabindranath Tagore was a great social reformer and educationist. He established the Vaisva Bharat University at Santiniketan in 1901. This university offered courses in science, technology, dance, music, etc. Tagore, through his own experience of studying in school, believed that the system of education prevalent at the time was not that much effective as a child did not have freedom to be creative and explore his or her thoughts, and the system was rather oppressive. So, he set up an institution where children could explore their thoughts freely. His institution focused on self-learning outside the rigid rules of the British education. Focus was given on the creativity and the curiosity of the children, and efforts were made by the teachers to understand them. Tagore, unlike Gandhi, wanted to combine the best of both Western and Indian learning without any restrictions. His institution emphasized on science and technology along with art, dance and music. बच्चों, टैगोर जब बिल्कुल गांधी की तरह वो भी चाहते थे कि एजुकेशन हर फॉर्म में होना चाहिए, मिक्स्ड होना चाहिए, यानी वेस्टर्न और इंडियन लर्निंग दोनों होना चाहिए, ताकि बच्चों को दोनों तरीके की एजुकेशन मिल सके बिना किसी रिस्ट्रिक्शन के. इनके इंस्टीट्यूशन में साइंस, टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ में आर्ट, डांस और म्यूजिक भी पढ़ाया जाता था. अब आ जाते हैं कंसेप्ट मैप ग्लॉसरी पर. एंग्लिसिस्ट्स reformer who wanted English as a medium of education. Dispatch, an official report. Madarsa is an Arabic word used for schools attended by Muslims. Orientalists, reformers who wanted Oriental languages such as Sanskrit, Arabic and Persian as a medium of instruction. Pathshala, traditional school attended by Hindus. Vernacular, a local language or dialect. बच्चों अब आ जाते हैं इसके एक्सरसाइज पर। डार्कन द करेक्ट सर्कल इन द OMR शीट। द डैश वर meant by पंडित्स टू impart एजुकेशन टू हिंदूज। ऑप्शन, करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज पाठशालास। आगे की प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा। फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स। बच्चों यहाँ पर कुछ स्टेटमेंट्स दी गई हैं जिनके पार्ट्स मिसिंग है, इसकी प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा। राइट T फॉर ट्रू एंड F फॉर फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट्स। एजुकेशन, इंग्लिश एजुकेशन एक्ट वॉज पास्ड बाय चार्ल्स वुड। ट्रू, फॉल्स। आगे की प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा। मैच द फॉलोइंग। बच्चों यहाँ पर आपको करेक्ट ऑप्शन के साथ में मैच करना है, इसकी प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा। शॉर्ट आंसर टाइप क्वेश्चंस। बच्चों यहाँ पर क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स लिखने हैं शॉर्ट में, इसकी प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा। लॉन्ग आंसर टाइप क्वेश्चंस। बच्चों चैप्टर की मदद से यहाँ दिए गए क्वेश्चंस की प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा। गिव रीजंस। बच्चों यहाँ पर कुछ स्टेटमेंट्स दिए गए हैं, रीजन के साथ में यहाँ पर आपको लिखना है, इसकी प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा। असर्शन रीजन बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस। बच्चों यहाँ पर कुछ क्वेश्चंस दिए गए हैं और उसके यहाँ पर ऑप्शंस भी दिए गए हैं, इसे अच्छे से पढ़िए और इसके बाद में सही ऑप्शन को चूज कीजिए। एनहांसिंग स्किल्स, ब्रेन बॉगलर हॉट्स। एनालाइज द चेंजेस दैट ऑकर इन पाठशालास अंडर ब्रिटिश रूल। व्हाट डिफरेंस डू यू सी इन द एंशिएंट एंड प्रेजेंट एजुकेशन सिस्टम। इसकी प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा। प्रोजेक्ट, प्रिपेयर अ चार्ट विद फोटोग्राफ्स एंड ब्रीफ हिस्ट्रीज ऑफ 5 यूनिवर्सिटीज दैट स्टार्टेड ड्यूरिंग द कॉलोनियल एरिया। इसकी प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा। स्किल डेवलपमेंट एक्टिविटीज, मेक अ पावरपॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन ऑन द एजुकेशनल सिस्टम ऑफ महात्मा गांधी एंड टैगोर। महात्मा गांधी और टैगोर का जो एजुकेशनल सिस्टम है उसके ऊपर आपको एक पावरपॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन बनाना है। लाइफ स्किल्स, विद द ब्रिटिश मॉडल ऑफ स्कूलिंग वी हैव द फॉलोइंग इन प्लेस इन आवर क्लासरूम्स। बच्चों इसकी प्रैक्टिस आप खुद से कीजिएगा। बच्चों आई होप आज की क्लास में हमने जो भी पढ़ा आपको अच्छे से समझ में आ गया होगा। अब आप इसकी प्रैक्टिस करते रहिएगा।